Welcome to A Corporate Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We are live on both Twitch and YouTube. And if you like podcasts that are now TV shows, you can check ours out. Just search Tom and Dan Live.
And if you want to hang out with us at the Solar Bears game, you can get your tickets at tomandan.com. We'll be there on Saturday for the Whiteout Solar Bears game and the pre-tailgate party at 135 West Central Boulevard.
Yeah, if you don't know what a whiteout party is, it's where we dress in all white. The Dennis family is ready to go. My wife has white, tight, like leggings. It's going to be a beautiful white ass.
Yeah.
And I've got it's going to be awesome.
Don't say yeah about his wife's ass.
He's allowed to. He's allowed to.
He's saying it.
Yeah, I'm
and
gifting
then I'm
him
saying
yeah. And he's saying, that's part of our relationship.
What I was trying to say, no?
No, never say a no. That'll get me into trouble.
Yeah.
If you said a no, you get me into trouble. She's like, why did he say no? And I'm like, I don't know. I told him he could say yeah. And she's like, I'll write him an email. We don't need that. But the white...
Get some glizzies cooked up by Bus, as he's calling them, bus doggers.
This is going to be awesome, man. This is like old school Tom and Dan, Mo DeWitt,
free
party.
White Claw, free shirts.
Yeah, man.
Well, the shirts will be on your chairs.
Yeah, when you
at the game.
When you
Tracy
get your ticket and go inside.
She got a lot of, and it's the White Claw vodka.
God, that's going to be a blackout show.
Yeah, it might be a blackout party.
It's the same, alcohol percentage as a regular White Claw.
Well,
Show 5.
People drink them fast.
Okay,
though.
I'm not really partaking very much right now. But before I decided I wasn't going to partake too much, I did hit a few of those White Claw vodkas. And I'm going to tell you that I think they're a little smoother and go down a little faster. The coldness of my can while playing Xbox one afternoon, you can just straight slam those things, dude. Just shotgun them down.
So, Sam,
yes.
You told us about this story, and I did see this on my timeline.
It's a number one story.
On your rhythm?
Number one story on all of Apple News this morning.
Yeah.
Is this what is it? Is it a tale of betrayal?
Don't know.
Is it
it's a mystery.
Murder? But it's a mystery. Yeah, what's happening?
Right now, it is not considered a murder. It is just mysterious deaths of 3 men. They went to their buddy's house. So it's Ricky Johnson, 38, Clayton McGinney, 36, and David Harrington, 37. They all went to their buddy's house on January 9th to... January 7th to go watch the Chiefs game, right?
Okay.
They're all big Chiefs fans. They went to their buddy. There was another guy. There was a 5th friend.
Oh.
He made it out fine.
Murderer. He's the murderer.
He left the house early, around midnight, and he said when he left, everybody else that was there was watching Jeopardy. I guess a Jeopardy rewatch. I don't know.
All right.
So he left around midnight.
That's a bit too specific. And what was that first guy's name?
The first guy that passed?
Ricky Bobby? No, the first guy.
Ricky Johnson. He's one of the dead guys.
Sounds like a fake name to me.
So the guy that lives at this house, right, he claims that he went to bed. He has no idea when the other 3 left.
Okay.
His first initial conversation with the police, he said that he said goodbye to them and then he went to bed. Now the attorneys come out and said, now there's inconsistencies, so people are like really trying to figure out what's going on here. He said that they were still up and kind of partying when he went to bed. So he doesn't know when they left. But in both instances, he doesn't know what time they left, how they left, all this. So apparently 2 days go by and nobody has seen these 3 men. And one of the fiancés decides, well, I know the last place he went, so I'm going to go to this guy's house and check it out. And she saw a body on the porch, like on the back porch. So she called the cops. When the cops get there, they find her fiance's body and 2 other men's bodies, which were the other 2 friends that were still left at the house.
Yeah.
All 3 dead in the back of this guy's house, in the backyard of this guy's house.
Okay.
Did they say how? And this is kind of morbid, but did they say how dead? Like, and I'm not saying like. Were they
we don't know.
dead?
We don't know time of death.
No. I mean, like, were
that.
they like seated in a chair dead? Were they slumped?
Don't know.
Because like that's the thing that I think is making people go crazy. Is like, yeah, they're saying that these guys were found dead in the backyard, but they're not saying was it sign of a struggle dead? Was it like
they did not say it looked like a sign of a struggle or a homicide yet. They just said it's a mysterious death that they're looking into.
So there was no obvious gunshots.
It was 29 degrees that night.
Okay.
There were no gunshots.
Or
there doesn't appear to be any injuries on them.
So
at face value.
Yeah, so it's not like face value foul play. It's like we don't know what the hell's going on. And the dude in question is claiming.
And it took 2 days before they found the bodies. He claims he never saw them in the backyard.
Okay.
So it's his own backyard, 3 dead bodies back there, never saw them. He also has 2 dogs that he has let in and out during this time to go to the bathroom.
Even if they didn't
and
bark.
two of their cars were parked on his street. He claims he never saw them.
Okay, that
well,
is
no, this is
weird.
Tom. This guy's Tom.
He also claims
This guy's you.
he
don't
never
notice
got
nothing.
any calls or anyone come by his house or anything or text messages trying to find his friends. He claims he had no idea they were
But
even
did
missing.
they? Do they claim that they fired off messages
Then
to
he
him?
then he said that he did see a Facebook message from one of the fiance or one of the spouses, but it was after he had talked to the police. He didn't see it prior to that. And he says he didn't hear any. I guess 2 people did come by knocking, looking for their family members,
But they didn't see the body.
and well, they were in the backyard. He didn't see
Yeah,
it.
he was
This
like,
lady,
they left.
kind of went
Snooping.
on his property and snooped.
Sure.
But he says he sleeps with AirPods and a loud fan, so he didn't hear anything.
This is you, dude. Like, this is Mr. Oblivious. His friends died in his backyard.
He
and
is cooperating. He's fully cooperating.
Yeah, he's going to go up the river because he's not noticing everything around him.
No, well, not necessarily. I mean, if there's if the only thing I could think of, right? Sam, let's try to solve this.
So the
Because,
one of the
good at
brothers,
I'm good at this. Watch this. Drugs. Boom.
well, one of the
Oh,
brothers of
damn.
one of the brothers of the victims did say that he if he had to hypothesize, he believes that there had to be something else in their system. He's like, there's no way that 3 really smart guys all died in the same place at the same time. Like, it doesn't, like, something else had to be involved other than alcohol. He doesn't know what. He's not claiming that he's like, I don't know if they took it on their own or if they were given something, but there had to be something else in their system. There's no way that these 3 men would just sit outside and freeze to
Yeah,
death.
that's where I want to go. I want to go like, obviously they were drugged
Now,
or on the influence of drugs.
That's usually when you hear of a young person's death, like what was the celebrity?
They're all in like their mid-30s.
that
Sorry.
just died. The porn star.
Jesse James.
Jesse
Jesse
Jane.
Jane.
Yeah, breaking news.
Even
her
though-
and her, I guess, husband or fiance.
Boyfriend, yeah.
Yeah, even though that they were, in their 40s, when a young person dies, the usual suspect is an OD, right? If they didn't have
Sure.
any cancer or any sort of illness, it's like an OD if it's not a car accident or something obvious.
And this isn't just one body. This is 3 bodies.
Yeah.
So that makes it even crazier.
Now
They're not all 3 having a heart attack at the same time.
No, but they all 3 could take some substance
Right.
that had.
Yeah.
I
I mean, it's pretty popular right now. And again, I'm not saying this is what happened, but the way our culture sits as it is, I get.
It could have been it was laced with fentanyl, whatever, they could have been smoking weed or something,
be.
and who knows.
I get inundated though with mind-altering ads about how I need to take this substance to, unlock my true potential. Like I get a ton of those. It is fairly popular to do. I'm not saying that that's what they did, but
So it seems like it's to me, I have no idea. And Sam, what do you think? I would feel like it's a 90% chance it's fentanyl, right?
I would
like,
say so, probably.
or
yes.
drug overdose.
Now, do we think that it was intentional? Like they took it on purpose? Do we think that this guy maybe was behind it?
why would he cooperate with the police if he killed his friends with fentanyl?
A lot of people cooperate with the police.
I don't think
Well,
this guy killed
what
his
would
friends.
what would be the motive to murder 3 friends with fentanyl?
That I don't know.
At a watch party.
Yeah, it doesn't make
you
any
know.
sense.
Yeah.
Now-
I don't necessarily like when I
And
hear
it was like 2 guys that he went to high school with. The other
Sure.
guy he's known for over a decade. Like they're
Yeah.
really close friends.
that doesn't really make sense to me, but you never know.
Now it could be they were all doing drugs with fentanyl. The one guy went to sleep. The other 3 kept doing them, and then they OD'd, and the
Right.
one guy
Yeah.
survived, and maybe he doesn't
Well,
want to
I would imagine
talk
they'll drug
about
test
it.
him.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
I mean, the toxicology will say what happened, right?
It should.
Because there's no way he
And
strangled
I have read in a
them all
couple
or something.
articles. I
Right.
can't find it in the 3 that I have pulled up now, but I did read in one article that the man is now moving from the place that he was staying at. Now, that could be because, hey, my 3 best friends died in my backyard and
yeah.
it sucks. Like, I don't want to live here anymore. But people are obviously, the internet is saying, well, he must have had something to do with it because now he's moving. He's going to take all the evidence.
Now, as an anxiety mun, the first thing I would want to do when anything bad happens to me, especially something this traumatic, is get the hell out of here. Right?
Now, Daniel, you did mention you're like, this is Tom. He doesn't notice. I will say that
I'm just trying to explain it away because I know there are people like that. I'm trying to be mindful of that because I am not like that.
I am not aware.
See everything. When I walk into the biggest argument that me and Andrea get into are Maisie's doing something right at the house, and I keep noticing it, and I'm trying to wait for Andrea to notice so I'm not the heavy every time.
Yeah.
This is a true story. And I'll just sit there, and I'm like noticing it, and I'm noticing it, and Andrea's not picking up on it. I'm like, God damn it, please notice it. Please notice it so I don't have to be the heavy. It's a curse that I see this stuff all the time.
Yeah, I'm oblivious to a lot. And so I will not, like, if there's some car parked on our street or some person wandering around, like, I won't notice any of that. I'm not on the lookout for it. Not paranoid at all about my surroundings. So if Daniel came to my house, we were watching football, then I passed out, and which I do like to Irish goodbye. Just if I'm too drunk, just go and pass out.
It's
in the
the
other room.
correct way to do it.
I don't want to make everybody. They're like, oh, come on,
You don't want to shut the party down. You just sneak away.
Yeah,
it's the correct way to do it. What if I went around the corner where your plants and the air conditioner are, and I died?
Yeah. It'd be especially.
You've been training. You don't even messing with your plants. I'd be back there for 7 days.
Well, if it's in the 20s every day, you're not wandering around in your backyard very often. I imagine it's a frozen tundra, so but it is weird that you have dogs and you let them out, and the dogs didn't
alert you or something, or they wouldn't come back in because they're like licking this
around
body or whatever.
Yeah.
That part to me is very odd.
They go right for the ears.
That part to me is more odd than like even the cars being parked out.
They'd go right for your ears. It's a fact. They go for dead body. They go right for the ears. It's the saltiest part of a dead body.
But then what would be the motivation to not say anything?
Well, we don't know.
To the cops.
We don't know what's going on in these people's lives. You never know.
Yeah.
But man, let's say this is something nefarious, right? Man, that is bold to take out 3 dudes in one time and have them in your backyard. That's why it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
because
I don't think it is. Now, is it possible, because I don't know anything about this guy, I haven't seen an interview, I haven't seen his perp walk when they lead him out.
He's a very smart dude. He's a scientist. Like, he's an HIV researcher. Like, he seems very responsible.
Oh, okay.
And
that was in the story, but whoever wrote the story I was reading, I was like, that doesn't have anything to do with it. And they didn't die of HIV.
No. He's a smart dude. They all seem to be, like, they get along as far as we know. A lot of the family members are really mad at this guy.
So
they think
smart,
he's not being forthcoming.
So smart, on the spectrum, didn't notice. That's what I'm going with. That's what I'm going with.
And then they died of fentanyl.
Yeah, they were doing something. Yes, was he? Okay, I'm just going to try and hit it.
But it's weird.
He was doing drugs. They're all doing drugs, right?
Okay,
and drinking.
Hold on. Because, all right, let's say you're doing some fentanyl, you're drinking, whatever, you're doing drugs. Then you go out to the backyard to smoke.
Sure.
Right? It seems weird they all go unconscious at the same time. Like, if one goes unconscious.
No, you go out there to sit and talk. Yeah, was there a fire? If there was a fire, that's why they went out there. They had a little fire going. And they continued it. Let's do a little more. Like, this is good. Let's do a little more.
But they all went unconscious at the same time. Like, one of them,
maybe one did, and they thought he was just sleeping.
Well, the other guy went upstairs, right?
But
and
it's 20s outside.
So then you go, I'm going to do 7 of these, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'll do 7 too. Or maybe we were really doubling up our dose or something, right?
Well, although that porn star, her and her boyfriend OD'd at the same time.
Yeah.
So, like, you're taking it and, kind of your human body responds about the same time. So maybe they all just got tired and fell asleep outside.
What if I chased your amount? What if you took, like, 3 pills and I'm like, well, I'm going to take 3 pills. Well, I don't weigh as much. Like, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure, you know what I mean? Like, I want to be part of the cool people.
And then one was on the back patio, but the other 2 were in the backyard? Like, far away?
I can't find like specifics of where the bodies were found. I know the one that it says McGinney's fiance broke into Willis's basement and found the corpse of one of his friends on his back porch. And then she called the police, and they discovered the bodies of his 2 other friends. No obvious signs of violence.
So the 2 other friends must have been further away or at a place that wasn't exactly obvious. If they saw the one dead body, it's not like the other 2 were right there. 2
were in chairs sitting, and the other one had wandered away when he realized that and died on the porch.
Well, they're in the other 2. Like, and that's
there's
weird.
4?
No, 3. Like, there's one. They only found one body in the back porch, and then the other 2 were somewhere else.
I thought they were in the backyard.
Somewhere in the backyard.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Two in the backyard around like wherever they're talking, and then the one on the porch. And the one was like,
the one on the porch tried to wander back.
He was trying to wander back for help,
Okay,
he died on the porch. The other two, sweet slumber, and good for him. Like
weird.
It's the way you want to go, just not knowing what happened.
One of the cousins of one of the men that died says somebody has to end up in custody over it, regardless of any situation. They're at your house, and 3 people are dead. I don't agree with that.
Yeah. If you took, if you were at someone's house and you
he just said
OD'd
custody.
drugs,
He didn't
yourself.
say charges.
Right.
I'm okay with you
Sure.
handcuffing me if it's my house and 3 people die in the backyard. You can cuff me, but I don't want any charges.
Well, they did question him.
Yeah, you can question me. That's
they questioned him,
That's
but
fair.
he has not been arrested. They are not treating it as a homicide.
Now,
And they're waiting for the autopsy and toxicology report.
Now, what do you do if you find that it's not a street drug or like a fentanyl or
Like a pain pill?
But it's a actual poison?
Whose were there?
Oh.
Then the guy
Now you're back
immediately
in.
is a number 1 suspect,
Oh,
right?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then but then what if you're the guy and then you really didn't poison?
I wouldn't
these
rule
other
out
3
that
guys?
fiance who found the bodies
Yeah.
either. That stinks a little bit. You had too much information.
That is weird.
Does she get charged with a B&E?
No, I don't think so. I think she was doing I thought about that. I was like, nah, you were doing what you felt like you needed to do to find your dead relative. That's super sad. And the fact that you had to find that, my God. The whole thing stinks. And what really stinks is, let's say this guy he doesn't sound like, based on everything that Sam's telling me, he doesn't sound like a bad person or an Uber party or somebody crazy. So if you just go scientist who had a watch party at his house, is it possible that guy super straight and narrow had nothing to do with it? The other 3 guys just decided to do some drugs and it went wrong.
It's possible.
Yeah.
And that sucks because that guy now has to carry that for the rest of his life. 3 of his friends died in his backyard.
They did all stay up pretty late on a Sunday and then had to work the next day. So, I mean, it seems like they're a little bit of a party.
That's NFL
party
playoffs,
crowd.
so, especially if that's your team.
What state is this in?
I believe it was Missouri.
Okay,
Which would
so
make
it's in
sense.
Missouri. Yeah,
it would make sense.
Yeah, Kansas City, yep.
Also, like, I guess if you're a smoker, you go outside, but you were like, why are you outside in 20-degree weather? Or less than 20 degree. I mean, it was negative. Did you see the game? It was negative 27.
Yeah.
It's like -9 on game time.
I think you go out there for a fire to talk. That's what you do. There must have been some sort of a communal area that they were hanging out.
And there'll be more information
Yeah.
as, time.
Yeah, but you're right. You don't
comes
just
out,
go out there to hang.
And not in -9 degrees.
You smoke or you make a fire and you sit around the fire and talk.
Remember when that BDM said that, and this is a thing that we never think about because we live in Florida, but that one BDM said that his buddy in college passed out outside, and then he believes if he wouldn't have woke him up and brought him inside, that he would have just probably froze to death out there because he was so drunk and he was like passed out. And that could definitely happen if in -9 degrees. So could it be you froze to death outside because you got so drunk or so high on something you passed out?
All 3, I can't. That's what's getting me. If it was one dude, maybe.
Well, I mean, just biology would say that everybody metabolizes alcohol differently, right? So you'd have to be really just. I mean, the 3
annihilated.
The 3 of us right now, if we had unlimited booze, it would be, I think, difficult for each. Okay, if the goal was, remember, all 3 of us need to drink so much we pass out. I don't know if we could do it. Because it's hard to explain what I'm trying to articulate, but I don't think that it would.
If one of you passed out,
there's too many variables.
I would get up even though I was wasted.
You
and
draw a D on my face with a marker.
I would not do that.
first.
I would not do that.
But I'd be like, it's -9 outside. I got to get you back inside.
Wake
somehow.
up! Yeah, shake
I'd
'em
be waking
up.
you up.
Yeah. And
if one of your boobs fell out, I'd take a photo of it.
it's most
That
likely.
actually happened to me before.
Oh,
But
really?
it didn't fall out. Some guy opened my shirt.
Oh, no, that's too far.
man.
Passed
That's
out,
too
took a
far.
photo
That's too
of
far.
it.
It's leave only footprints, take only memories. You know what I mean? Like, you're not supposed to touch the things. You're supposed to just participate by just being there. This is I'm not.
We'll see when the autopsy and the toxicology comes out.
Where are we at with because this reminds me of the old Idaho roommate murders. Where are we at on that case?
Hasn't gone to trial yet.
Man, it seemed like we heard about
They
it.
found the guy.
Yeah.
And then I think everybody was agreed that this was the guy. So it's
And
kind of
that's
like
why
there's
you're
no
not
more
hearing- yeah.
there's no more mystery. It's like, all right, this is the guy. Here's the evidence.
And you got to build your case
Yeah.
because there are some speculations out there that either he didn't work alone, things like that. And
Yeah.
you gotta flesh all that out too, because what if he didn't? So
Have you
Yeah.
guys seen the video? Not to jump around to different like murder cases or scandals or mysteries, but man, that video of him, the Idaho roommate murderer,
Yeah.
and his dad when they're driving and they get pulled over,
yeah.
and there's body cam footage of him and his dad driving, and it like some people like you can kind of see like his facial expressions are weird and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I always put myself for some weird reason in the shoes of the dad.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh my God. There's now body cam footage of me and my son, who's probably a murderer, and it's everywhere. It's just like, what do you do?
Well, the dad knew, right? Or no?
I don't think
I
so.
can't. I
No.
don't recall the story.
I don't think that.
I
he
don't
did.
think he did. I
Okay.
don't think the father was
And
in
if
on
he
it.
did, we don't know about it yet.
Right. That'll come out later. But no, I think the dad was oblivious. But my whole point is when I see the video,
Yeah.
I can't help but zero in on the dad. Because
Yeah.
now he knows, because his son's, up on charges now, like they're building the case. You know you're in those videos. You know you were driving with your son, and you know that you were having small talk with your son going cross country, and he didn't mention anything about offing some people.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, who the hell are you? Do I even know? Like, I don't know. Maybe that's a super sensitive, emotional person thing to do, but it blows my mind. Like, I think, what would I even do? Is that worse than my daughter passing away? That my son or daughter is now this person I didn't even know, and they murdered people?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's worse.
Right?
Yeah.
Think about, like, carrying
It's
that.
worse because
Ugh.
it makes you question everything that you reality.
Like, what did I do?
Then I start
How
blaming
did they end
myself.
up this
Oh,
way?
my God, yes.
And then they're gonna probably go to death row anyway, so you're gonna,
Yeah.
This is a morbid
Then do you
segment.
go visit your child
That's a great question.
on death row? If they did some heinous stuff,
I think I would.
Yeah, I would too.
I think I would.
I have a unhealthy relationship and love for my sons.
Yeah.
that
I'm
I've
glad that you can
mentioned
acknowledge that.
mentioned before that I am ride or die with them. No matter what
Yeah.
scenario, and you can invent whatever scenario in your head.
You're down.
Just know I don't want. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just going to try
Yeah.
to protect them.
You're along for the ride.
And that's what I vowed to do.
Even if it's a shootout. Even if it's a shootout.
Yeah, because that is now. Now I don't know if that
What are
changes
the
as they.
odds on-
I don't.
What are the odds on Van
but, right,
Boys?
that's how I feel right now.
What are the odds on Van Boys? And you're included when I say that. The Van Boys are 3.
Okay. Yeah.
What are the odds on right now in Vegas on Van Boys liquor store shootout? Going out, Blaze of Glory liquor store shootout. How do you guys go out?
It's pretty much
Car chase?
zero.
Okay.
You know,
All right.
They just don't got it in them. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Tommy or Matt, they follow the rules.
They
you know,
don't got it in.
for a liquor store shootout. Yeah. At least right now,
Yeah.
as I know them. But I'm sure everyone, like even this dad, like
I was gonna say when they get
you know.
older, peer pressure might,
or just people's
sway them to do some things
People
that they
have-
don't even want to do. Maybe.
people have like weird brain changes as they age.
I'm
and,
doing
like,
it right now.
When
I think I got a tumor pushing on my brain, making me different. That's what you guys have been feeling lately.
Yeah,
I got
you
a
know.
tumor that's making my personality completely. Don't I seem different?
Well, if you
There
do
it goes.
something crazy, make sure to write the note saying "study my brain."
Study my brain.
Yeah,
I
that's-
keep forgetting to write those down.
yeah, because if you because we'll all be like, all right, just let's be done with it. Let's not
Let's be
study.
done with it.
Well, I'm just saying, let's not go to study his brain.
All right, he's dead.
Look, he's dead. We don't really.
Yeah,
Do we
yeah.
really want to prolong this?
Like I didn't really think that he'd do that stuff, but
Yeah.
I don't know. He did some weird
Yeah.
things. I don't know.
Sometimes it's better just to close the book.
Yeah, it's not that odd.
Yeah, the chapter's done. Chapter's done. We don't need a detailed explanation here.
Like there's something wrong with Aunt Diane. Everybody was in the consensus that she was acting totally out of her personality, and they studied her brain.
Yeah.
Or there's been other cases where someone does something insane, and then they're like, study my brain. Then they find out the tumor.
One of my favorites and I know we got to take a break here, but one of my favorites that I feel like happened, and then I was like, ooh, I want to see what happened to this guy, and then I think he's back to normal is the old Coney. 2012 guy.
Yeah. What
I
happened
mean,
to that?
psychotic
yeah.
break, had a break, right? Like
Yeah,
had a
yeah.
real break, and then like boom, off the planet. Never hear about him anymore.
But then he's fine.
I think he's okay.
Yeah, he's still.
I think he's. I mean,
doing
but nobody
activism?
mentions anything about it. Like nobody's like, "Hey, you're the guy that went got naked, started slapping the stop signs, right?"
Yeah. By the way, I can't even recall what Coney was.
It wasn't
I have no idea.
I believe it was some sort of a charitable thing, and he was like one of the main focal point guys.
But
and
wasn't
then,
he against a dictator of
yeah,
some sort in
that's
Africa?
the whole charity aspect. He's
Okay.
trying to,
Ugandan militant who founded the Lord's Resistance Army, designated as a terrorist group by the United Nations peacekeepers, the European Union, and various other governments.
That's who Coney was.
Correct.
But this guy was just
like anti like that, right? And he was like trying to raise awareness for it. And I thought he went crazy.
Yeah, no, I remember.
And then he
they
got
found
naked, and they found him
nude,
naked slapping a stop sign or
yeah,
something.
yeah. Like he had a total breakdown.
Which I believe Martin Lawrence also did. Don't
Yes.
quote me on that. But
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
when people have a break, you take your clothes off and you find the nearest stop sign, you start slapping it. That's what you do.
That's so odd to me because I don't understand getting to the point where you actually have
It's got to feel good though, right?
you makes you want to get nude in public.
Yeah,
Like,
I watched
that's
a video.
bizarre.
I watched a video on Reddit of a
You
lady.
talk about wanting to show your D to businesswomen all the
Yeah,
time.
well, that's just
That's an urge.
Well,
Yeah.
that's
I'm
their
telling you,
urge.
man,
Their
that's
urge
just
when
a
they
psychotic
break
No,
is
but
to
they
show
did it.
their D
No, but
to people.
I've never done it.
This lady was having a break yesterday on Reddit in an airport, right?
Yeah.
And her psychotic break was she tore off all her clothing. It was in Jamaica, and they were trying to stop her from like acting a scene. She pulled it open
Okay.
and started spray crazy.
Okay.
Okay. Yelling at everybody.
Yeah.
Until she was tased.
Yeah. But she was insane to begin with, all right? She couldn't have been perfectly
You know
normal.
what sucks is when you looked at her, she's wearing the normal clothes like she was just going to Jamaica for a fun trip.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. And it's like, and that's what you got.
Something had to have been off medication.
Just so you
something.
know, when
you
I
get-
read these, just so you know, as a person on medication for anxiety and depression, as a person who meditates, I went to my therapist yesterday for my 1 month check-in because I've graduated to a different level. She says I still am doing pretty good. I always think it's drugs. Always. There is never a time when I don't think it's either alcohol or drugs. It is always alcohol and drugs.
Okay, even in the if someone told me Daniel got nude is running around Baldwin Park slapping stop signs,
I'm on drugs.
I would say maybe he had a psychotic
He's
breakdown.
coneying. He's having a coney.
I just wouldn't believe it. I'm like, I don't think you have it in you.
But
like,
would you think he's probably on drugs? Or maybe he's drinking.
Yeah, I've seen you drunk. I've seen you
You've seen me
drinking.
naked. You've seen me rip all my clothes off at the top of my
You're right.
You've seen me
I've
rip
seen
my
this happen.
You've seen
Yeah.
the night I quit Real
No,
Radio.
but that
saw him
you
break.
did it
the
as a
night
joke.
I quit Real
You
Radio,
did it as
I
a
took
joke.
off all my clothes and I held my D&B in my hands and I ran to the top of my stairs and wiggled my zit butt at you.
You did it as a joke.
I did.
So we would think you're having a
I
psychotic
did.
break.
It was like, look, he's having a psychotic break, but I wasn't.
Yeah. No, but
I
that
wasn't.
so that tells me that you're doing it for comedy. Now, did it go too far? Maybe. Not to me.
Maybe to your wife.
I still laugh.
Maybe to
No,
your wife.
even to her, she
Okay.
still laughs at it.
Okay.
And so it's a fine.
Andrea didn't like that
It's a
very
fine.
much. Just so you know, it was a not the fine with Andrea. Not so good. She's a very modest lady. And she don't like the tomfoolery that I bring to the table.
All right. We'll take a break. When we come back,
We can power through because I can play the old man who fell down. I want to play that video so bad.
No,
Well,
we got a guest we got to
Damn
chat
it.
with.
All right. So we'll take a break. We'll come back with the guest right after this.
Perfect. Great job.
That festival's this weekend. That's the only
Yeah.
reason we got to do it.
No, I know. I was just playing along.
Yeah. Perfect.
Oh, that's cool. When did you guys get a Shop Patrol cross? Do you have shirts for that?
We made some a long ass time ago.
Where does that go?
Friday one.
Thank you. My voice has been a little weird this week.
Nathiri, right?
I think it's Nathiri, but I'm gonna ask her.
Nathiri? Okay,
Nathiri.
the H is silent.
We're going to
Nathiri.
ask.
I'm gonna ask, but I would assume that it is. But we still got about 10 minutes, so if you get a pee or get a drink or
Yep. Yeah. Way down yonder on the
Wahoo.
Chattahoochee, it gets hotter than a hoochie coochie. We made rubber on the Georgia asphalt. We gun crazy, but we never got caught. Down by the river on a Friday night, pyramid of cans in the pale moonlight, talking about cars and dreaming about women. What's the next part? Never had a plan. Never had a plan, just a living for the minute.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, when you don't drink, your memory comes back. You learn how to wish and we learn how to run. Learn by living and learn by love. Yay! It's pretty fun to do.
Alan Jackson holds up.
Well, he was always a really, really, really good country music singer. Nothing that he wasn't. He didn't go with trends. Standard country.
His newest album, which isn't that new anymore,
It
but
wasn't bad.
it was really good.
Yeah, it wasn't bad at all. I remember, I think you've told me that before, and
Yeah.
I think I put it on one afternoon cooking. Yeah, but you're not going to get, it's like George Strait. You're not going to get a bad album from him. He can't. He can't do it. Who's your wife's favorite country music artist? Seriously.
I have no idea. I don't know that much about
You should
her.
probably know that.
She's dead in my backyard.
I don't know. I know she likes country music, but I couldn't tell you. She likes some old school, like.
Anybody else going to see John Moreland in Point Siena? Or am I the only person going?
It's not Point Siena.
Or Ponte Vedra. Sorry, yeah.
Nothing's in Point Siena.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the wrong place. It's Ponte Vedra. In Ponte Vedra, it'll be the first concert. We need to talk about it. I probably put it on the Friday list. But I think maybe we've mentioned it. But it'll be the first concert that I've ever gone to by myself.
How far of a drive is that?
Like 2 hours, I think. He's so good, though, man. Like, that guy's songs they're some of my favorites. He has a new live album out. If you want to know where to start with John Moreland, get his new album that came out like 2 weeks ago. It's a live album he did, and it's fucking rad. And he does it live. It's just him and a guitar, and his voice is just haunting. So good. So good. Hang Me in the Tulsa County Stars is one of my favorite songs I've ever heard. It's more like real country, Americana. If you like, I sent it to Crystal because it's very much like a Avett Brothers kind of a vibe. You know what's interesting, though, is John Moreland's not very popular, but he got a message from, who's the blonde that used to be married to the judge on The Voice? Miranda Lambert.
Okay.
Super mega country star. Sent him a message and was like at some venue he was at and was like, hey, will you play this song? And I don't think he had any idea she even knew who he was. And she was like a big fan of his music.
Speaking of music, I had a blood test yesterday, so I was in Quest, and
oh man, that's like Walmart. It's like 1 centimeter above Walmart.
Quest. It was in the Walmart.
Oh, you were okay.
Oh, the Quest Walmart.
Okay, now
That's worse.
I will say my wife is so cheap, but she's a planner. She swears by the Quest and Walmart. She says it's the only place to get your blood work done. Fastest
why?
and most efficient. I don't know.
Now they did close in the waiting room, which I appreciated because it used to be open, so you'd sit there and just watch people check out.
Watch people go to the McDonald's.
And then as everybody checked out, they just look at you and they think you have an STD, which I imagine they're thinking.
Hey,
I was like,
you got to do it.
Yeah, and so you're just sitting there. So they actually added a door and closed in. So then when I'm doing my blood test, the lady was listening to Encanto soundtrack.
Oh, okay.
And then she had an Encanto calendar, but she had to have been in her late 40s, 50s.
Okay.
And I thought that was odd. Just listening.
I listened to Disney Lo-Fi all day
No.
in the office.
Yeah, you'd be like, but that's I guess you're
I'm
right.
37.
Yeah. Well, I still look
No
at you.
kids
You're
either.
younger than me, so
Not that much younger.
I look at it like
Damn near 40 myself.
Yeah, I know.
I was at Disney last night.
Yeah, no, I know. I just thought
I had to watch the Country Bears before they changed the show to make it PC.
I guess it became, I've heard Encanto so much with the kids that I was like, this lady's listening to the Encanto soundtrack. Like, just,
It's a good soundtrack.
It is good. I just think you would get tired of it after a while, right? I guess you're get tired of any other music.
Yeah.
Then I also had to run after, and it affected me a little bit. I don't know how long you're supposed to wait.
Babe, I know the world that thing and drive me mad. Okay. Here's what John sounds like. I'll play you some John Moreland. He wasn't an extremely large man. I want to say he was like pushing 500 pounds. And he lost a lot of weight. Here's how John Moreland sounds, if you're interested. You want something to listen to while you're working on your cooking your dinner? This is the excellent cooking music. This is my pick of the week. He does that finger picking shit that I'm teaching myself, on my Martin.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard. And it hurts my fingers because I got little hands. Tiny penis.
Hang me in the Tulsa County stars. Hang me in the Tulsa County stars. Meet me where I land if I slip and fall too far. Hang me in the Tulsa County stars.
There you go. Just a little taste.
So you're telling me with practice, I can get close to sounding like that?
We didn't say that. See, you're
closer than you are now.
Yeah.
Closer
You become a better singer. Doesn't mean you're going to sound as good as the best singer.
Babe, I know.
But can I become a good singer? I'm still.
Well, it's subjective, right?
My only way.
I'd have to sing with you more to really tell, and then I could give you a better answer.
Is to practice.
Can you harmonize? If I sing a note, can you give it, like if I go, can you go, and hold the note?
No, I'm not different. I could try to match it, but I can't.
You go, stay on your note.
Not bad.
Your note is here, Nope, you're flat. Go, now you're going sharp.
Yeah.
Just hold it. You started. See, Andrea does that. It drives me crazy. I'm trying to teach
try
Maisie.
to match it.
I'm trying to get Maisie. Like, I'll get her on a third or a fifth, and I'll say, "Stay right there," and she'll go, "Ah," and then when I go, she'll go, "Oh,"
Yeah.
and down to where I'm at. I'm like, knock that off. It's hard to. You have to disconnect your brain. It's the same way I disconnect my bass drum foot. It's called independence. You gotta disconnect your. But you could do it.
Yeah.
You could do it. Oh fuck! Melissa said, "I am here, marked." Yeah, Jacko's saying this is all practice. I think, if you and I were locked in a log cabin, and somebody said, "Hey, the only way you guys can get out of here is if you sing a song in harmony." And we'll let you out of the log. We could do it. Guaranteed we could do it.
With enough practice
Yeah.
and just grinding it out.
But I don't think you're interested in doing that. I could. We could do a song and record you doing it as a personal accomplishment, but I don't think that's something you're interested in.
Yeah, it
You have to be interested in it. What?
I just can't wrap my brain around.
You look so defeated.
Like I never, I don't know. Physical things I can wrap my brain around. I'm like, all right,
Singing is physical.
you know, I don't.
Yeah,
it
like
just
my
doesn't-
throat. You know what hurts?
It doesn't seem.
You know
I
what
can't wrap my head around.
sucks with singing is that like from doing this show and starting this company, I've wrecked my voice. Like my range
Yeah.
is fucking trashed. Like I can't even hit notes I used to be able to hit even like in 2012 because we're just always constantly like I'm screaming and doing voices and
Yeah.
you know acting like there's so much that has to happen here that I don't think I've given my voice a rest in the last 10 years.
It's kind of like
And I fucked it all up.
Could you teach someone to be a good stand-up comedian?
Now that I don't think I could.
See, that seems easier than the singing to
No,
me.
hell no. In my opinion, hell no.
Well, it's being comfortable. All of it, though, what you were talking about, like, you know the inflection yesterday that you couldn't wrap your brain around when I was like, when I was doing the Bradley and then kind of singing it like how he like dips his voice down.
Yeah.
You know, like, and he has like certain styles that he does, you know, that you try to emulate when you're making fun of it, but you couldn't wrap your brain around that. I don't know where I was going with that. What were we talking about?
Well, stand-up comedian versus singer. So the stand-up comedian, to me, I feel like you could get you could practice their 10-minute set enough, and then
Same thing with a song. You could practice the same song enough where you're so good at singing that one song and like there are songs that I have that like I know I can sing them better because I've sung them so many times. I can hit all the runs. I can hit all the little flourishes and little things. It's all just practice. I think that's it.
But you have a genetically better voice.
I do, but it doesn't mean that practice won't work for people that don't. So if your voice on the scale is like a 42 and my voice on the scale is, let's say, a 70, I'm still not 100.
Yeah.
Practice still will raise a 42, just like it raises a 70. It raises all boats. What is that old thing? Practice raises all ships. I made that up. That's not how it goes.
Is it high tide?
High tide raises all ships. Yeah, there you go.
Something like that.
Yeah, but I do think practice.
NY Nathiri, like a theory, like a conspiracy theory.
Nathiri. Okay, great. Line
2. Zola Festival.
NY, can you hear us okay?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me
Yes,
all right?
yes,
Yep.
we can. We can hear you just fine. And it's Nathiri, correct?
That is correct. Everyone
Awesome.
calls me NY, though.
I love
All
it.
right,
Hey,
perfect.
thank you so much for the time. We appreciate it, and we'll get going right now, okay?
Okie doke.
Hold on one second. All right. I will start and kick it to you.
Okay.
And this is a coming back.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Here we go. In 3, 2. Welcome back to A Corporate Time.
On the line with us right now, she's going to talk about the Zora Festival going on in Eatonville this weekend.
Yeah, man.
NY Nathiri's on the line. How you doing, NY?
I am doing splendidly. Thank you for asking.
Oh, that's awesome. You know, we don't get very many guests that when we ask them how they're doing, it's a good thing. I like that.
Yeah,
More people.
They never
need to-
say splendid.
No, more people need to set the tone with something positive and be like, yeah, you know what? I'm doing pretty darn good. Well, thank you so much for the time. And can you tell us a little bit about, because I know for years, I know what it is because I've actually been to the festival. My wife's actually been there and worked the festival before, so we have a good idea of it. But for people that don't know about the annual Zora Festival that's held in Eatonville, which is arguably one of, if not the most historic part of Orlando, tell us a little bit about it and how it came to be.
Listen, you know, it's really, I want to first of all thank you for the opportunity to come before your audience.
Sure.
It's so important that people know first and foremost that this is a cultural event that is intergenerational, that is welcoming to people of all kinds of demographics, whether you're a working person, whether you have a PhD, whether you're a toddler, whether we try to provide a wonderful experience, cultural experience for everyone and for a broad range of people.
For sure.
It's about culture, it's about arts, it's about the humanities, it's about, things like that, but that you enjoy. In other words, these are not conversations that, you feel you have to take out your thesaurus or
Gotcha.
what are people using now. It's just a wonderful space in a place that people may not know they may not realize how close Eatonville is to downtown Orlando.
Yeah.
They may not have heard of Zora Neale Hurston, who is, above all, a wonderful storyteller. And her stories come out of this place that was founded in 1887.
Yes, ma'am.
It's right next door to Maitland. In fact, it was established from Maitland. And Zora Neale Hurston has made Eatonville a literary destination. People want to come here and do come here from all over because it is the oldest incorporated African-American municipality in the United States.
Yes.
In other words, it's a self-governing town. It has been that way for all these years. We are a part of Orange County, and yet you are correct. Winter Park, Maitland, Eatonville, for those of us who are like in the business, we say this is where authentic Orange County resides.
Yeah, it does. It does sort of feel like that. And as I read today to try to prepare for you coming on the show, I was reading and I was learning a lot of. I didn't know that so many people, like if you are a writer or if you really enjoy, her writings, that people do pilgrimages here to check it out. I didn't know until today that a lot of writings that were not published or writings that she had collected over the years were actually saved by a police officer in the 1960s.
Absolutely.
There was a gentleman that was tasked with cleaning out her home after she passed away, and he was burning the manuscripts. If it had not been for the law enforcement officer that drove by and saw it and was like, hey, what's happening here? And then they were able to put the fire out and save all of these documents that are now in the possession of institutions like Yale University, the University of Florida. This is a very, very, very big literary deal.
Absolutely. She died in obscurity. Alice Walker, the woman who wrote The Color Purple, and people may know that from the movie because right now there's a movie based on the musical that was based on the film that was based on the book. All righty. But so the point is, all of this stuff has connectivity. It all has connectivity, and you're absolutely right. Sometimes people who are brilliant, who are geniuses, they do die in obscurity. And in fact, Zora Neale Hurston died in what we used to call the poor person's house. They used to have county homes.
Yeah.
Way back in the day. And people who were indigent, who were poor, that's where she died in Fort Pierce. And you're absolutely right. Nobody knew who. I mean, she's an old black woman that had died, and we got to clean her things out. And you're absolutely right. A deputy sheriff knew about her and saved a good many of the things that were going to be destroyed. But of course, what happens? Genius lives, and today I would say that anybody who's listening to us, if that person has a son, a daughter, a niece, a nephew, they probably have encountered Zora Neale Hurston because she's now what you call a part of the canon. In other words, if you go to school, you will have been exposed to Zora Neale Hurston. And so they know about her, and they probably know about Their Eyes Are Watching God.
Yes,
right?
that's the
biggest. And I
biggest.
can tell you that tens of thousands of people we expect to come to Eatonville this weekend, but over the year, people come exactly as you say. They look for us. And this is important.
That's cool.
This is important because Orange County is a global destination for tourists. We call them people who pay the tourist development tax.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
So that we're a part of that economic engine. People that come to us are called cultural heritage tourists. And what we do is to try to give them the best experience, just as when they go to the attractions, you try to give them that quality experience and that quality customer service. Well, if people come here over the weekend, they're going to get that same treatment.
They will.
And
the festival's so awesome, Tom. Like, it's been around for forever and a day, and if you haven't experienced it, it's truly amazing. Like, it's definitely worth a destination stop to go through there. And
I bet you there's awesome food.
Well, it's just food.
Everybody in the chat's like, the music alone is good, but the food's
the
best.
music and food, it's top tier.
Yeah.
You don't get better.
And let me say this. in these times, inflationary times, we are a good ticket. Let me tell you why.
Yeah.
Children come free all 3 days. Parking is free all 3 days. On Friday, which is our education day and our gift to the community, if you are an adult, on Friday, check us out. It won't cost you a dime.
There you go.
Now, on Saturday and Sunday, general admission, that ticket is $20. And wait, there's more. There's more.
Yeah.
If you have an RV from Valencia, from Seminole, from Bethune-Cookman, from Rollins, from the University of Central Florida, 10% off your $20 ticket.
There you go.
All right? All right. Now, if you would like a little bit more upscale experience, and you do this in the next because it's already Thursday, and it's not about a walk-up,
sure.
But you can get a VIP ticket where there is catering and 2 adult beverages.
Okay, that's what I mean. What's the catering look like? I bet it's super good.
Listen. So it really, even though I'm a part of this event, this is a good deal. This is absolutely a good deal, and the weather is going to be good. We've been freezing in Florida, in Orlando. We need to get out. This is the place to be.
Yes,
this is the place to be.
Completely agree. It's awesome.
And why? I'm curious, like, how much does Eatonville have to keep developers from trying to build? Is that a problem? Because I've heard that around Central Florida, like everybody's just trying to turn everything into housing because the housing.
Oh yes,
rents,
and I have to listen. I will tell you and I'm going to put on this hat without any reservation. I work in the historic preservation field, and historic preservationists are the crazy people. Okay, we are absolutely the crazy people, and we want in Eatonville the best quality, and I'm speaking now for the Association to Preserve the Eatonville Community. We're the people that put on festival. We are the people who have been working for 35 years to really develop what is called a cultural heritage tourism economy.
Yeah.
Right. No, we don't need any housing in Eaton. No, that's not where it is. This community has the opportunity to enjoy the economic prosperity connected with cultural heritage tourism, which, fellas, is a multi-billion-dollar industry. We're not talking here about just buying a few books.
Sure.
Okay? Cultural heritage tourists come more often, they will return, they spend more money, and they stay a half a day longer. That is the connection that we have the ability to profit from in Eatonville, and in fact, we've been seeing that. That is the case. This is a wonderful experience, but cha-ching, yes, indeed.
Yeah,
it's very important that connection.
You're feeding a group of people that probably because of that cultural tourism that you're referencing, I would imagine your level of education is higher and also your income level is higher. And if you're visiting, visiting Eatonville multiple times because they make it something that you like, just like this festival, like I've been, my wife's worked and been, it's a great thing. The better you make it, the more they'll come. And I get what I get what you're saying. Well, hey, thank you so much for the time. We really do appreciate you giving us the time to talk about something that's so important to Orlando.
Yeah, and if you guys want to see the schedule or get tickets, zorafestival.org.
There you go. NY,
thank you. A lot.
Hey, thank you so much for the time.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll get to do it again sometime soon. We'll talk to you again in maybe a year or so, okay?
Listen, don't make it a year.
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
We'll do it. Take care. Be good.
Thank you. Bye.
That was really sweet.
And
she had her. I like it when people are prepared and got their footnotes and everything ready to go. Also, her voice was quite pleasing to my ears, right?
I feel like Eatonville is right there next to us, and
mega historic.
And we don't have a lot of historical parts of town anymore. So
embrace that a little bit better. Some interesting things about Zora that I didn't want to I mean, she knows all of it, but I didn't know this until today. I didn't know that she didn't really get any fame or wasn't really heralded for any of her writings until basically 1975.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is past. That's ridiculous. And then, also an atheist. I didn't know that either. She was a pretty devout or outspoken atheist and said that, she saw prayer as almost like you were trying to skirt the system of the universe by using magic to try. No. Become one with the universe and understand the universe, and you're not going to do trickery to get past. A very interesting lady.
Also, it's always sad when someone gets recognized after they die. It's like
they never got their flowers while they were alive.
There's a huge festival celebrating this person,
but at least she gets that,
Right.
Yeah,
but
her legacy will live on.
She didn't see it, and she didn't know.
There's a lot of people that die that don't get recognized at all.
That's sad to me.
It is sad.
I want to be recognized alive.
So it's just about you. Okay.
You don't remember the birthday party or the wedding thing where the dad stands up at the wedding and is like, I want everyone to thank me. Give me my credit before my daughter gets married.
You know how mad I'll be if in the future, like 100 years from now, someone goes back and then starts like listening to what I've said throughout 20 years on the show, and they're like, my God, this guy was brilliant. All his things he
We're
said.
We're going to have a festival.
Yeah. And then I'm dead. I don't even get to see it. I don't even want it then. I'd rather it not happen.
Now that I agree with.
I'd rather no one recognize me than recognize me after I die.
That I agree with. If I die and you guys start doing the Tom and Dan Dennis was funny festival, I'll be like, shut it down.
Yeah.
Shut it down.
Yeah.
Or I hope something horrible happens to you guys while you're at my festival.
All right. We will see you on Monday.
All right. Nice job.
Perfect. All right.
She was so sweet.
Yeah.
That's Friday 2.
Friday 2.
All right. And we're launching it?
Yep. You want to give me the intro for this?
Yep. Sure.
It's the 3 dead men in the backyard and Zora Festival.
All right,
we really
guys.
set her up.
We'll see you guys
at 1
after lunch.